Sairam. This was a speech given by Swami in Prasanthi Nilayam to MBA students. I just chanced upon it when I was going through my diary and I found it a priceless gem. So I thought I will share it with all of you. Do not run after the transient and the temporary trash this world offers. Use this precious life to secure the feet of the Almighty Lord. In a village, there was no drinking water, so the residents petitioned the municipality. Through the good offices of the local MLA, they were able to get a bore well dug. An overhead tank also was built. They decided to invite the minister to inaugurate the facility. The tap was a gold tap. They had made elaborate arrangements, band and dance and all that. The minister was garlanded, and as he opened the tap, there was applause all round. But no water came out of the tap. On investigation, it was found that the tap had not been connected to the tank, the main supply. Similar is your plight. The marks that you secure are good. The subjects of your choice are good. So are your external appearances. However, you have not connected yourself with the main water tank, me. What is the use of everything else? Each room in a house has a switch of its own. To turn on the light of a particular room, you have to put on the switch in that room. But is it enough? The main switch must be on. If any of the other switches are to function, if you do not turn on this, Swami shows himself, main switch, everything else is a waste. A traveler goes to a city on some business work. He checks into a hotel. The hotel is very luxurious and has air-conditioned rooms. The traveler gets immersed in the comforts of the hotel and forgets the business which brought him to the town. This is your plight too. You are getting immersed in the world and forgetting the purpose of your visit to this world. This is not the sign of an intelligent person. Then Swami lists out what are the reasons for our straying away. Durbodha, Dushravana, and Duralochana are the certain roads to disaster. Look at the plight of Mandara. Her Durbodha earned for her everlasting infamy. Listening to her earned for Kaikeyi eternal disrepute. She suffered her husband's death and estrangement from her very beloved son. Thinking evil of the Dharmatma Pandavas earned for Duryodhana disaster. Casting evil looks at Draupadi earned death for Kichaka. Looking outside is Pashu Drishti, that is what you all have. Seeing within is Pashupati Drishti, this is my vision. It's only because of Durbodha, Dushravana and Duralochana, nobody wants to be named after Mandara, Kaikeyi, Duryodhana and Kichaka. It is during youth that your faculties are strong. Earn God's grace and love now itself. Can you wait till the last moments to do this? When the messengers of Yama are dragging you along, when the relatives declare that it's useless to even keep your body indoors, when your wife and children are loudly lamenting, is this the right time that you can easily bring to mind Hari's name? Start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. Starting late and speeding could involve you in an accident. If you wish to go for a walk, you wear slippers and get hold of an umbrella and a walking stick. If you wish to go to a cinema, you take the necessary money. These are trips you can either do now, or if you so desire, postpone to a different or to a later time. But how are you preparing for the final journey? That's not something that you can choose to embark on or decide to postpone. You have no control even over the time of starting. Why don't you get ready for this inevitable journey? Youth is fleeting like a lightning. Do not set great store by it. Darkness comes rushing in immediately after the lightning. So too your youth. The doctor prescribes diet regulations, wishing your welfare. He is your true friend, not the friend who tells you to ignore the doctor's advice and eat what you want. My dear children, follow this priceless piece of advice. It will keep you in good stead always. This was the gem of a discourse that Swami gave, where he clearly points out that we are in the prime of youth. This is the right time to start on the spiritual journey and not wait for for one to retire to take up the spiritual journey. He points out that along the path we need to keep our ears, eyes, and mind straight and focused. Getting swayed by wrong advice, by wrong inputs in terms of speech or in terms of vision can distract us from the very purpose which we want to, which will take us to the goal. The goal, of course, is reaching Swami. And Swami so beautifully says, you have come to this world and you are forgetting the purpose for which you have come to this world, being involved in all kinds of activities. He says these transient and temporary attachments will take you away from the goal for which you have come. Do not forget the purpose of this human life. And very beautifully, he tells that all our problems are because we have not connected ourselves to the source, that is Himself. Just like the villagers had not connected the overhead tank to the tap, we forget that unless we connect ourselves to Swami, to the reservoir of goodness, to the reservoir of virtues, we are likely to be misled. We are likely to run short of whatever is needed to complete the distance. And that is why it is so very important. Swami is the main switch. Unless we switch on that main switch, the switches in the other rooms will not work. So I thought I will share this beautiful discourse with you. I also found one more entry on the golden jubilee of the declaration of avatarhood. On the 20th of October 1940, Swami had declared that he had come for the world. He gave up the small confines of the family so that he can embrace the entire world as his family. And I saw this golden jubilee of the declaration of the Advent that was on the 20th of October 1990. A short while from now, in another 10 days, we will have the Avatar Declaration Day, the 20th of October. So I thought I would go through this very beautiful entry. The whole of last night, members from the state of Andhra Pradesh had beautified the mandir with great enthusiasm. A backdrop to the chair in which Bhagawan was to sit during the program, beautiful designs have been arranged. Sri Sathya Sai Avatara Prakatana Swarnotsavam was carved as a backdrop. 18th of October 1990, a few of us had gathered in the mandir for a Parayanam session, as we always do, at 9:30 in the night. After the Parayanam, we were discussing what kind of card we could make for such a magnificent occasion. One of the boys suggested that when so many people are doing so many wonderful things, we would be missing an opportunity if we don't do something very grand. Yes, why don't we worship those feet which Swami declared 50 years ago would help one cross over samsara? So the immediate idea was, let us involve everyone present and chant Ashtotram. The idea was very novel and fresh. Immediately everyone sensed Swami's inspiration. It was decided that we would make attempts the next day. On the 19th morning, this idea was taken to the wardens of Prasanthi Nilayam and Vrindavan. They were very excited about it. They added a few more songs like Sai Shatakam, Manasa Bajare, Why Fear When I Am Here, and Tum Hi Ho Mata. It was decided that these would be written artistically on a sheet of paper, and Swami's permission could be secured for these. Swami had gone to the Purnachanda auditorium and he returned and sat on the throne for bhajan. The students who had gone to write the artistic card were still stuck in the old hostel. And by the time they came, Swami had already gone into the bhajan hall. However, the wardens took the card which they had made and sat in the front. The moment Swami saw them, he got up from the throne and came to them and asked them the reason for their sitting in the front. When they suggested the program and sought his permission, Swami was very enthusiastic. He was extremely happy. He gave his permission and he even said, the Andhra devotees have arranged for a procession at 7 a.m. We will have ours earlier than that. I will come at 6:30 itself. Baga Cheyandi, he told us. It was decided that all the song items would be printed and given to all those around so that everyone could participate in it. In the evening, Swami himself raised the topic. He said that again he would come at 6:30 itself and we'll have our program first in the morning. Swami even came to the top of the balcony in the mandir and told the boys to go and practice for the program. Swami came in the morning at 6:30 and we started the Ashtotram. The whole portico resounded and the devotees also joined us. The program went off without a hitch. As we sang Tum Hi Ho Mata, Swami stood before us accepting our prayers. The last song was Sai Hamara Hum Sai Ke, and when we finished it, it was exactly 7 o'clock. There was a procession in which a band troupe of several members with group singing of devotional songs, devotees from various areas of Andhra Pradesh with dance, music and songs followed. There was a classical Lambadi dance, Naga dance and Chakka bhajans, of course. The 9 planets along with the sun offered their obeisance to the cosmic visitor. The Navagrahas along with the Vahanas also had the good fortune of having the blessings of one whose anugraha nullifies all that they do. The 10 avatars too were present in the procession. There was a Harikatha exponent explaining the philosophy of Tattvam. Bhangra dance also was there. There were groups in which the 5 values were described. Sathya was personified as Harishchandra, Dharma as Sri Ramachandra, Shanti as Gautam Buddha, Prema as Jesus Christ, and Ahimsa as Mahatma Gandhi. Two Kolatam groups regaled the audience with their fast movements. Devotees from each district were carrying lamps and were delighted to have Swami's close darshan on such an auspicious day as they passed near his throne. The throne was placed in front of the Prasanthi circle. Swami asked it to be announced that there would be a public meeting in the evening. When some devotees prayed that all could not see Swami if the meeting was held in the mandir, Swami was discussing alternate venues for this. The Purnachanda auditorium is being readied for the birthday celebrations. It is not ready for this function. Swami then decided to have the stage in front of the Prasanthi circle, where the Sannidhi is there today. All of us in the bhajan group were asked to sit inside the Prasanthi circle. Swami had got it announced that no student or devotee should touch his feet. You all speak of devotion to Swami, but do not think of Swami's discomfort, he said to students who were still trying to touch his feet. After the morning function, when Swami went upstairs, he came onto the balcony and gave darshan, and then said, "Hey boys, if you can take Pada Namaskar now, you can do so." When he had declared 50 years back, he had said, "Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam." It was to be not just a physical act, it had to be done mentally. He was declaring the same thing in a different format now. He was saying, if you can reach up here, the mind has no barriers indeed. If you can reach up to the balcony, you can have Namaskar now. So Swami is giving us the same message, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Even though the evening program was announced to be at 4:30 p.m., by 3 p.m. itself, there was a near stampede of devotees wanting to enter the mandir to be as close as possible to the avatar on this special day. I will speak more about this in the next session.